All right, hello and welcome to yourlocalnote.com. We're going to be hanging with our friends, the Tressels. It's good to have them back in the studio. This is your third time, right, guys?
It is.
Excellent, excellent. And they've got a new EP. It's called Bury Me American. We're going to feature a couple songs off of that. We're going to talk to them about the making of this album and what's going on with them, not only presently, but also we're going to just look into the future of the Tressels and see what you guys got planned. And Dirtman's looking at me going, I don't really know. Also want to remind you, we are streaming 24/7. We've got free apps. Just go to the App Store, just type in YLN and download the apps for free, and you can take yourlocalnote.com with you anywhere you want to go, and that means you've got the best Philadelphia area music with you at all times. All right, what we're going to do here is we're going to play the first song, and actually it's going to be played live. We got Butch, we've got Dirtman, and we got Outlaw from the Tressels, and they're going to play the first song off the EP, Bury Me American, and it's called Past Me on yourlocalnote.com.
I married an actress when I was young. Her parents knew just who I was. They hated me. I forgot where I came from. Diss on the place that molded me. I got 2 sets of keys made, one of them's yours. Cannot guarantee they'll open doors, 'cause I'll be outside waiting for your car to pull up, and every time I pay you say it's never enough, but I'll be talking shit as soon as you leave, 'cause I'm hoping that you'll drive right past me. Not going to funerals no more. I'm going where I've never been before. Maybe Brazil, maybe LA. I've forgotten yesterday. Stay close to me, babe, we'll be fine. If you got the money, I got the time. 'Cause I'll be outside waiting for your car to pull up, and every time I pay you say it's never enough, but I'll be talking shit as soon as you leave, 'cause I'm hoping that you'll drive right past me.
All right, there you have it. Very nice.
Thanks.
Good job, guys. Song is called Past Me. The band is the Tressels, and the EP is Bury Me American. A brand new EP. When does it come out, or has it been out?
We are releasing it digitally Friday.
Nice.
Yes, with all your black market sales, you can get
Excellent.
the new Tressels EP as
There
well.
you go. All right.
Yeah.
It's, excellent. And we'll go over where people can get it. Butch, Dirtman, Outlaw, welcome back.
Glad to be back,
Yeah,
man.
great to have you guys back. First song sounded great.
Thank you.
And looking forward to hearing the rest of it. Let's talk about this song, Past Me. What is this song about?
I think that this is like the first one that we wrote for the record, or it was the first one that we got real excited about.
Okay.
And it's like a Bruce Springsteen kind of anthem. Mm-hmm. A lot of his songs have to deal with like ominous cars picking up money and.
Yeah, if you really look into his songs, they're not really all happy songs.
No, there are some backroom dealings.
Yeah.
We had the chorus first. That was an old chorus, and then I wrote a very like jangly, simple verse.
Okay.
Over top, and I just wanted to make it as simple and to the point as possible.
Okay.
And it has a real declarative statement in the first line: "Is I married an actress when I was young."
Right.
Which is a true thing. I actually,
you married an actress?
My ex-wife was an actress.
Oh, nice.
And
All the lines are true, aren't they?
Everything on this record is true, pretty much.
Okay, and you were touching on before we came on the air here, that this was a tough time for you making this EP.
Yeah, we had finished. I think the last time we were here, we were promoting American Midnight.
Right.
Which, during the course of that record, I broke my hand.
I remember that. Yeah.
I was in a car accident, which we also talk about on this record. Mm-hmm. And I was going through a divorce.
That's American Midnight.
Yes.
Okay.
And, well, this was kind of after that record had been finished, mm-hmm. and the space in between promoting that, because we were playing a lot of shows.
Right.
And then the start of this one. And then the Dirtman's father got really sick, and we kind of saw both of those things coming.
Right.
And we used, we've been playing together since we were 15, so
right.
we used that as a
to fuel.
A way to get the creative juices flowing and work
sure.
out some of that.
Sure.
That stuff.
Do you find that when things are a little bit tough, you seem to write easier? Because I've talked to different songwriters, and a lot of them will say that I write better when I'm going through a tough time than when things are going well.
I think our songwriting has always been dark, but now that actual real bad things are happening to us,
Well, it's an outlet for you guys.
Yeah, it definitely is.
And sometimes you not that you want bad things to happen to you, but like it's hard now to write about anything other than that.
Right.
So,
well. So, I mean, if things are going well, it's like, well, I'm not going to write.
I have writer's block.
Yeah, because things are too happy. I can't write right now.
Yeah.
Do you, I mean, obviously you were touching on this, that everything that is on the album you've lived through. Do you ever take some stuff from what your bandmates are going through sometimes and incorporate that into songs? Because you're close to them, you can feel...
I think we all are. I mean, we're all really good friends, so we were all kind of in each other's pockets anyway,
okay.
And we know what's going on, and we've always written about our troubles. And
As soon as you said that, I thought about your line about the car full of weapons. My car is actually full of weapons. I collected daggers, and when he died, and they just stayed in my car.
Oh,
yeah.
Really? Okay.
So yeah, it was. I'll take stuff that I think a lot of the songs are. I didn't want. It wasn't just about me and my situation, or it wasn't about Dirt and his situation, or Mickey and his situation, or Fuzz, our bass player, and his situation, or
Not
Matt.
specific, but there's elements to it that you incorporate into the song.
There were elements of all of that that we thought were poetic and
right.
needed to be
right.
put out.
Well, it seems like you're writing about life, so everyone's living their life. Things happen in life, so you just take from that.
And another good thing is that when we've done these 3 EPs now, and we will always have a way to like look back on that time and how we got through it, and there was also a creative document of that era, and you can actually listen to it all the way through and kind of see where
for
things are going.
For people who have maybe not caught the first and not familiar with the Tressels, your first EP in this trilogy was
American Sunset.
Okay, followed by American Midnight.
American Midnight.
Now it's Bury Me American.
Yes.
Okay. Why did you pick? Because you had Sunset, Midnight. Now we went different.
In a practical way, we thought American Morning just sounded like a talk show.
Okay.
Yeah,
God forbid you do any radio reference.
Yeah.
No, I'm
there was
kidding.
Sunset and Sunrise. We were always going to get those mixed up.
Right.
Sunset,
Okay.
Sunrise.
Okay.
And Bury Me American was a title that had been kicking around for a while.
It's an ending.
It is. It's a finale to this trilogy, and definitely makes it, when you're buried, that's it. That's the end of the story, pretty much.
Yes. Now, when you started this trilogy, and it was sort of accidental that you started the trilogy.
Yes, a little, slightly.
Yeah. Did it go the way you expected?
It went better, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
How so?
It was our most creative time. It was our most, I hesitate to say commercially successful, but it was definitely our most critically successful
Good
time. We met a lot of cool people. We got to work with a lot of really cool people.
I think
Nice.
before this trilogy of EPs, we were kind of more known for the live aspect, but now we kind of made some really nice recordings, went to some nice recording studios, and
Yeah.
it's best records we've ever made.
It was even in a review that we got for when we started, and we're coming up on 10 years almost. When we started, we were kind of known as like the drunk rock band.
Okay.
We would get super hammered, and we had these anthemic, quick, kind of like half folk, half punk, half classic rock songs.
Right.
And this one website that had been following us since we started actually wrote a review, and it was a great review, but it said like, these guys are now a mature, boundary-pushing, sophisticated band, where if you had heard us back then, you never would have thought that would have been a thing anyone would have ever said about it. So it was a big...
So you guys have grown as musicians.
Yeah, it was a big leap forward for this.
Very cool.
And it's most things in our life are accidents that we're going to do this, and we're like, yeah, right, and then we end up doing it. We're like, we said that we were going to do that, and we did it. So
Nice. Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go to song number 2. We'll come back and we'll talk about it, and we'll continue talking about how making this and what you guys are looking forward to in the future. Even though it's coming out on Friday, you still have to start, because in this business, it's you complete a project and you're really looking at the next project after that. So I mean, it's just unfortunately the way it is. But we'll talk about that. The song is called Trouble. It's from the EP Bury Me American. The band is called The Tressels, and this is yourlocalnote.com.
Lately I've been in some trouble, killing time down in the dungeon. Loving you was never hard to do. Loving me makes it hard to breathe. Grab a glass, let's drown our sorrow. Tomorrow, loving you was never
comparison. Dirtman, great comparison. We were just talking about what you have to do as a music site and even as bands evolving. And he said, yes, you have to evolve like Ebola.
Evolve and get stronger.
There
yes.
you go. Yes. Okay. I like that you look at us as a disease or a virus. Appreciate that. All right. The song that we just heard was Troubled. And the reason I started that conversation is because I was troubled by... No, I'm kidding. We're hanging with the guys from Tressels, and they got a new EP out. It's called Bury Me American. This is yourlocalnote.com. Got another vidcast going, and we appreciate you joining us. Okay, Butch, Troubled. What is this about?
Troubled is actually Dirt's song, and it had been floating around for a while, and...
This is when usually I'll be more involved in the songwriting musically, but I did a lot of the
He
lyrics
wrote the
here.
lyrics.
Butch
I kind of...
does those rockin' parts, the parts that are heavier.
All right.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit about my dad dying, and then it's also about a car wreck,
Yeah.
one thing.
Yeah, so, like I said, it was a lot of heavy stuff, and...
How difficult is that to write about, knowing that song is always going to be part of what you do? I mean, are there going to be times where you just, you know what, I just can't play this song?
It's tough. I think it would be tougher if I was him singing it every show and all the time, because I don't sing it. But
Yeah, I mean...
it is tough. I get emotional playing it, but I think it comes out and makes the live shows better.
It's also a tribute, too, which is good.
Immortalized in a Trestle song.
There you
Yeah.
go. Nice.
It'll be on the internet forever, at least.
Yeah. Well, the thing is to give it some background. When we played together in high school, and his dad was very instrumental in like helping us get started. He had
Okay.
bought
bought a van
Bought a
for us.
van. He took a volunteer job at a church hall so he could book shows.
Nice.
Have a place to play, because there's not a lot of places for teenage bands to play.
Right.
They want to play to bars.
Right.
And
Kept us going. Probably the reason we're still doing it. We let us practice in his basement forever, even when I wasn't living with him.
Yeah, and he was very integral in like, I mean, it was not like gentle with his critiques of us, but
In the long run, that's always better.
yeah. So a lot of us, we're all invested in it. So it wasn't just like I was singing something about a situation I don't know nothing about. It was
Right.
He was we were all right there.
A big part of your life, too.
Yeah. And then it needed a dynamic shift, so I started thinking of like I was in this car accident, and I just thought of like the kind of that's where one point ends and another point begins.
Right.
So yeah, it's a tough song to play, but it's a really intense song to play. And it's we all kind of look at each other when that last the last note hits. We all kind of have the same feeling, like we just.
It's heavier than we've gotten in a while musically, but it just felt right.
Yeah. But yeah, it's Troubled, and
Okay.
we put that one out about in August, I guess.
Yeah, put that out. It was the first thing we put out from this Bury Me American.
And the response was like crazy good, like enthusiastic, like Facebook comments with like 25 exclamation points. We're like,
Nice.
yeah,
Nice.
because it is very visceral, and it's not the first song on the record, but we really wanted to make that the statement of the record.
Going from the first EP to this EP, did you record in the same studio, all three EPs, or were you...
This is the first one we changed studios.
Okay, and was there a reason to do that, or was it just the way it worked out?
It was kind of a progression. We were recording at the studio Mill Street Records in Clifton Heights. We did the first record there. The second one, then we had the second one mixed by Mike Tarzia, whose dad is Joe Tarzia, and did all the Gamble and Huff and Philly International Record stuff.
Okay.
We really hit it off with him. He was really vibed with us, like just the rawness and stuff. And then the guy we recorded with, Dan, wasn't doing it anymore by the time this record rolled around.
Oh, okay.
So we did it all with Mike Tarzia, and he took us to a studio called TTR Studios. It was very cool.
How different was it recording with him than the first two? Especially with all his history.
He's a little more hands-on.
Yeah, it's
a little more
intense.
Opinionated.
Yeah, we Dan and his brother Bob, who actually was an assistant on the last two records. And Bob does our live sound, and they're very close friends of ours. But it was very much a laid-back kind of, we'll do this kind of when this feels right, and working with Mike was we were on. I mean. A kind of tight time frame.
Yeah.
So it was pretty intense. We had to, track a lot of it in a day. So we liked that because it needed to be, like I said, wanted to be visceral and
it pushes you.
and it pushed us a lot.
It's always interesting working with the different people, like how they see the Tressels and how we should sound. And he definitely had his own take. He had the more like visceral, raw kind of sound, and kind of
Did you like his take?
Yeah, and in a way, he kind of reminded me of his dad because he was not very gentle with his criticisms either. So it was a lot like, that sounds like garbage. Do it again, and
okay,
it was it cracks your ego a little bit because you always think you're super prepared, and then you go in there and you realize we're not prepared at all.
We're drawn to abusive relationships. It's really worked out for us. We like to be yelled at until we're shitty, and then we play better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's
and you see the end result.
Wrong.
It's worth it. You got to sweat a little bit, and you got to cry a little bit. So.
Yeah. It reminds me one time when I was first getting in radio, I was doing sports. And my dad and mom came to a game that I was doing. I was doing the color commentary. It was a lacrosse game up in upstate New York. My dad sat right underneath the press box, and every comment I made, he would put a thumbs up or a thumbs down. He made sure I could see his thumb. I mean, for the whole game. Every little thing I said. Occasionally, he would do the, shake the hand a little bit like that.
Yeah, the half and half.
Yeah, the half and half. But yeah, so I can relate to, someone just telling it like it is, and that's why I think in the long run, though, it helps you because you have to work on things.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I'd rather be told the truth than someone just telling us everything we're doing great and taking our money.
Yeah, we've worked with a lot of people who've they're like, I'm going to be hands off. I'm not going to do, and Mike is definitely not hands off at all.
But you knew that going in.
We knew that, and that's one of the reasons we wanted to do it with him. And
he was very passionate about this.
He definitely, I think, understood the songs and what we were trying to accomplish more than anybody.
Do you feel he pushed you as musicians to even improve beyond what you've been doing?
Yeah, it's funny though because he would like the takes that he wants he wants feel. He doesn't really want it doesn't have to be technically perfect. He just wants it to feel. Right. It doesn't feel right. Then
I remember him saying stuff like, that was perfect, but anyone can do it perfect. Do it with some feel.
Well, that's a big part of music that people they underestimate is the feel.
Yeah.
Because the feel then comes through. You can do it technically perfect, but if there's no passion or feel to it, it will still lay flat.
Yeah, and we've never tried to be perfect. We'll leave that to Maroon 5. You know what I mean?
That's part of the that's part of the Trestle sound, though. I mean, it's like.
But you guys, I mean, you don't try to be perfect, but you know what you want to sound like.
Right.
And you're pretty, you got tunnel vision, as my impression, my perception from the outside is you guys know what you want and you go after it.
Yeah, but it's also good to have someone on the outside being like, because you don't want to do everything yourself, being an outside source, being like, don't do that perfect.
Right.
He was great at that.
Excellent. Very cool. Thinking about the future, then, would you go back and record another EP with him?
Definitely.
Or do you need to take a break?
I think he's kind of mad
at the moment. I mean, I've been at his house a lot over the last.
We need a break from each other, I think.
Help him mix it and everything.
And we painted his railing, and we've been
painted
doing errands and stuff for him. And
so a break could be in the future then, as far as maybe trying something different.
These people we work with always like us a lot more at first.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we're just, I don't know.
Overstayed our welcome.
Yeah,
you don't wear well, is what you're saying.
No, I would definitely work with him, and I would recommend. I mean, I would recommend him to anybody who either wants something mixed or wants to track. I mean, if you're willing to go to the dark side, you got to be committed. You can't just be like, oh yeah.
You're definitely immersed in some sort of universe when you're with Mike Tarja.
Okay.
Because like you're saying, a lot of records you put in or you listen to can be too pristine and too clean.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy. I mean, I'm the newest member of the band, and I have a vision of what the Trestles are because I listened to them prior to me playing with these guys. And Mike Tarja, he knew the band, and when he said, I want the feel more than the performance.
Yeah.
I mean, he took that to heart and maintained that throughout the entire process.
It's important because it also reminds me of this artist that I knew. He's in Nashville. And when he did a live show, people would come up to me, and I was a program director at the radio station. People would come up to me and say, who is this guy? Whenever he sang live, because his voice was big, and it just carried so well. It was full, it was rich. I mean, he just sounded great. And the first time I saw him, I was so excited to get his CD. And when I put it in and I listened to it, I was like, where is...
Fell flat.
Where is it?
Yeah.
Yes, it was flat, and I was concerned maybe my expectations were too high, but then his second album, same thing. What he did live, he could not translate onto a CD, and I think that's
We fell into that trap.
Yeah.
And Tarzia was very good at getting what we did live. When he saw us live, really it changed what he was going to get out of us on to the record. I think this record really captures that live energy and everything.
excellent.
We've been trying to do since we started making records. We want to make, all right, we have a really great live show. How do we get that on tape?
Right.
And then that's a lot of people just can't ever do it, you know.
Yeah.
And this is like a good balance of like it's the core like songwriting, and there are like a little bit of like studio flourishes and stuff, but it's pretty much, you know, couple takes, like you know, real raw, all playing together. You know,
I think a lot of bands fall in that trap as far as like it's like I have a live show. How do I get this on
Right.
the record? But like you have to treat it as two different products because that's what it is.
Yeah.
If you're a business,
That's a good point.
you have your product that you hand to people, and then your live stage is completely different.
Is it different? Yeah.
And I mean, Fuzz and I, the bass player, going into this one, you know, we were talking to the engineer at TTR, and he's like, "Well, what do you want to do?" And I said, both Fuzz and I were just like, you know, this is your room. You tell us what you want, because this is your space. This is your creative process.
But
as far
you know,
as that goes.
you have to be comfortable being able to do that, because sometimes it's like, well, I've got my way of playing, and I've got to keep doing that.
I mean, it's a
a comfort
not to pat
level.
myself on my back, but I mean, or even Fuzz, but like it's a mature move. You kind of got to check your egos at the door, that kind of thing.
Yes.
And trust. You got to trust. these
It's a
guys.
mature move in the sense that you're comfortable with your playing now.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I can play the songs however you know.
Because I don't want to
whatever.
accuse you guys of being mature. That's, you know.
I'm
but-
We're gonna
absolutely
do that.
not.
Yeah,
Sure,
don't do
that's why I didn't want to use that
See,
word.
with studio magic, it's fairly easy to make it all perfect. You can't fall into those traps to do it.
Yeah.
We tried to do this raw, and like a lot of it is people playing in the room together.
Good.
We did all the bass and
Bass and drums
drums
the whole
together,
time.
and we played the guitars, but we ended up redoing some of that. But we
Yeah.
wanted
Excellent.
that real, like old school, in a room, not one at a time, sitting there
Yeah.
with headphones.
Yeah.
You know, actually play as a band like we are.
Well, I think it also adds to that energy, that feel that he's looking for because if you're just playing by yourself, you know, there's energy that you get when you're
Right.
feeding
Yeah.
off
Way
of
different.
the you know, playing together.
And a lot of the studios that we've been in studios that are very sterile, and this place was just like a wacky, like
So
it's
weird.
Like
above a
Pee-wee's
fabric
Playhouse.
store in Germantown.
It was the Pee Wee's Playhouse.
You had to walk through the fabric store to go up to the studio. There's all sorts of like kitschy stuff on the walls, and it just
character.
felt very comfortable
Yeah.
for us to be there. Mike brought like tuna that he caught, and like a bottle of Everclear, and like, you know, it was just like, all right, we're
Just
gonna
a great vibe.
we're gonna
Raw
get some work
tuna.
done today. You know what I mean? Yeah,
He's setting a great atmosphere.
he did.
You know, I mean, it's music, and there's emotion to it. There's passion. There's feeling. There's everything to it. It's not an accounting job.
Yeah, and this is even in situations where we were recording some of the vocals, and Dirt has recorded all of my vocals on all of my records, and you know, Mike was like, "I'm gonna back off. You know how to record his vocals. I'm gonna set you up, and you know,
Cool.
and I was also really gracious of him to like let us use a lot of his studio to do that. So
Nice. Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Let's go to song number 3. We'll come back and talk about it, and we'll talk more about your experience producing this album and what is going to go on with the next album, if you're even thinking about that yet.
Word.
As you as you've wrapped up the trilogy here. The song is called All Wires. Am I getting that right? Because I can't read my handwriting.
All Wires.
All Wires. Want to make sure I did that. Okay, this is what happens when you get old. You start scribbling and you can't read it. It's like, oh, great. The EP is called Bury Me American. The band is The Tressels, and this is YourLocalNote.com.
I want your golden years, and I want your heart right here, and I want it to disappear before you came. I didn't mean to make you cry, that's just the way that I say goodbye, and your kingdom awaits you, don't have to stay here tonight. And if you go, I'll be
The song is called All Wires, off the EP Bury Me American, and the band is The Tressels, hanging out with us on the vidcast here on yourlocalnote.com. All right, Butch, All Wires. What is that about?
All Wires is...
Robots?
Robots. It's about being made of mostly robot parts. It's a breakup song.
Okay.
And, but it's a happy-ish. It's an upbeat breakup song.
Happy for you guys.
Yeah. And the crux of the songwriting was we were both really into the Traveling Wilburys at this one point.
Okay.
And we wanted to write a Traveling Wilburys type song.
Right.
And
I think it kind of got a new energy when our new drummer here, Outlaw, and Fuzz, our fairly new bass player, they kind of did some really neat stuff there. I love the chorus because they got a little funky, did their thing.
Yeah. It turned from like a Traveling Wilbury song to that chorus where it's like the I don't mind inside of all wires. It kind of turned into like a Graceland era Paul Simon kind of beat.
Okay.
Which is also great. But yeah, I think that's probably the poppiest song on the record.
Okay.
But yeah, there's some sad images in that, and it just pretty much was it's pretty much a straight up breakup song about that relationship.
And we were talking a little bit about this when the song All Wires was playing. Are you happy? Are you sad that the trilogy is over? I mean, this has been, what, about 3.5, 4 years in the making, these 3 EPs?
Yeah, it's 4 years, I think.
It's only been 2 days since the album's been actually fully ready. We just shipped it out to the people who donated to our Indiegogo.
Nice.
Yeah,
So I think I feel relieved.
yeah, it's good.
Did you feel a lot of pressure with the third one?
Yeah, and especially because Midnight was, it was such a weird, dark time, but we felt like we owed it to ourselves to do it, and it was, in a way, a purely selfish thing. Like, we're going to just be stubborn, and we've always just been stubborn and just done things the way we wanted to do them anyway.
Did you have any doubts that you were going to complete this?
For a minute, yeah. In the middle of making the last one, we were a little concerned, and then Dan, the engineer, was like, who does this? Like, who's going to, A, care that we did it, and then B, like, we're putting all this time and effort, it's like in a whole, like, period of our lives. He's like, think about how proud you're going to be when it's finished.
Right.
And then right after all that, our drummer quit. And that was really heartbreaking. And we were almost broke up right then. We were like, we just put so much into this album. He quit right after.
Yeah, we had never had a drummer play on 2 consecutive albums.
Oh, okay. So it's almost like Spinal Tap here.
Yeah, it's
Very
exactly
much so.
like
and
it. That's
one guy
been
spontaneously combusted.
So yeah, I'm relieved that it's done. But in a way, it's like, it's like anything. Like you want people to share in it with you, and you want it to get out to as many people as possible. But yeah, I'm very proud of it, and I think we all did a great job.
It's the grand finale. We really went all out for this one. We got a great artist in Zook doing the cover art.
Right.
Worked with Mike Tarzi at the best studios we've ever done, and we really wanted it to be a big, grand finale.
That's cool. And
I think
now,
it was.
looking to the future, have you even started thinking about the next
I have
album?
no idea.
Okay.
It's I thought we all have talked about taking a break from music for a while, because it is very stressful to continue to do this, and in the way that the music industry is right now, and then just in the economy in general, and all of us have jobs and other things, and you worry about not being relevant anymore. But then I realized we put out like 8 albums in 10 years. It's not like
Yeah.
we've never taken an extended amount of time to like just
Take a break.
enjoy our lives.
I did start working on a collection of the American demos from all these 3 records, because we always do a demo, me and Butch.
It's like a
usually
whole
at my
nother
house.
a whole nother album.
And we're
pretty
going to be
much.
putting that out soon. I've been putting that together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
That'll
that'll
probably
be something
free. Yeah.
something completely different.
And then
Very different than the way they come out on record.
yeah, it's a completely different sound. It's usually just him and I, or with a lot of like electronic beats, kind of working out the
goofball
songs.
production, string arrangement, and
Okay.
goofy electronic beats.
Just a different approach than what you
Yeah,
normally
same
do.
kind of style of songwriting, but just much different. And then we were playing a show in Westchester last week, and we had been playing in Westchester since we started, and we realized that in 2016 our album Prison Wine will be 10 years old,
Wow.
which was like our official debut big bang production album, and we're like, well, we have to do something for that. So we have a lot of other ideas, but
it might celebrate ourselves for a while.
It might it might slow down a little bit.
Well, I mean, you've been putting a lot of. I mean, 8 albums in 10 years?
Yeah, and we've been on your show 3 times, so
it's not bad. We've been around, and it's now over 3 years that we've been around. So it's good. It's nice to have you guys back in the studio.
It's good. It's always good to be back. You guys definitely put your money where your mouth is when it comes to supporting local music.
Well, we're trying.
Which can be a very apathetic thing.
Yeah. Well, it comes down to, and it's similar to what you guys do. You got to find something that's good and present it. Good wins.
And you guys have stuck to it
so,
and keep evolving like Ebola.
We're trying to learn.
When we left that first time, I was like, they're going to be gone tomorrow.
Right, yeah.
Fly by night.
Yeah.
We've seen this, and here you are.
Yeah.
Better, and you got video
Congratulations. You got the Tressels seal of approval.
Okay. Okay. I feel like we can stop now.
Cross that off the bucket list
And we hate most things.
Okay, that's good, Dirt. I'm glad you put that out there. You hate most things,
and we like you.
We like you, like us. All right. Well, that's good. And it's like what you're saying. I mean, the industry's in a transition. We talked a little bit about this even before we went on live. No one's buying albums anymore. So how do we make a living doing what we love, which is being part of music? And
sure ain't easy.
It's not. So, but you just have to continue trying and throwing stuff against the wall, and hopefully it will stay.
And we do that as far as getting our music out there. We're on everything. We're on Spotify.
Right.
I didn't pull us off like Taylor Swift. I figure for us it's more if someone can find us there and that's a way of finding us.
Oh, you
that's
got
great
it.
for us.
Yeah,
you have to.
She's in a different.
We don't have to make a stand. Yeah.
A little
and we're also
category.
on iTunes and everything, so we try to be on everything.
So you're if it's social media, you guys are part.
And that
of
was part of the reason why we did this in an EP form was that it was easier to put it out quickly.
Yeah.
And
I think that's key.
And people would take it. I know. I personally, we've all said that. Like when we started out in high school, when we would play with these bands. Like Liquid Gang and Shaft and all these bands we play with that were like old Philly scene bands. They all had like a 5-song EP.
Right.
They sold for $5 at their shows, and
Butch loved those.
And we loved them because I think you'll take more of a chance on a band you don't know if it's only 5 songs.
Yeah.
It's $5. What do you have to lose?
Right. Right.
So that I guess is our.
Okay.
And then you listen to even the people people who are making albums. It's really just 10 songs. It's not really an album. You don't think it doesn't have a cohesion or some sort of theme to it.
It's 10 songs, but the thing is, I think you have to look at the costs. And albums, 5 or 6 songs of an album can be just thrown away. No one ever hears them.
Yeah.
And I think with the time and effort that you put into it, you have to.
Especially since now people don't buy albums.
Right.
The time and money it takes to make a full one.
Right. So, I mean, these are things that we discuss with all the bands. What is your approach? What is your thoughts on it? I mean, I'm asking you to get your opinion because you're in the middle of this.
6-packs is how everyone should go. They're the
6
best.
6-packs.
I like the editing. Like we do a lot of editing down the songs we're going to choose, so they're really plucked to the best songs and get to really focus on a small amount. So,
do you do a lot of pay what you think type of stuff too?
We do. We do. American Sunset is still a pay whatever you want download. Mm-hmm. We have on our Bandcamp, which is thetressels.bandcamp.com. We have a lot of free downloads, and basically all we ask for is like your email address so that we can let you know when the next thing is coming out.
One of those songs is our Christmas single we released on Your Local Note 2 years ago, Thoughtless Gift.
There you go. Nice.
That's actually going to be on the WSTW holiday CD.
Very nice.
Which we're pumped about.
Congratulations.
On a Christmas album.
Good stuff.
Might as well just quit now.
Yeah. All right.
That
you
was
mentioned the Bandcamp. Your website again. Tell people.
TheTressels.com.
Okay. Very
TRESSELS.
Everything they want to know about the Tressels is on your website.
And probably more. Like you can.
Oh, there's more than you really.
Every
want.
show we've ever played.
The stories. Butch has our whole 9-year history on one page.
Nice.
We got tons of pictures.
Okay. Shows. Where are you guys going to be playing?
The next one is our big annual Christmas show at the Trophy Tavern in our hometown of Drexel Hill.
Nice.
It's the Christmas Barnival of Light and Sound finale of awesomeness.
Okay.
Yeah.
When is that? December?
So, every year the title gets longer. It's going to be on December 27th.
At the Trophy Tavern in Drexel Hill, PA, our hometown.
Scenic downtown Drexel Hill.
Excellent.
Which we've started doing our Christmas show there, and it's always...
It's a great time.
It's a great time. And all the townies come out and they get wrecked and,
Love those townies.
Yeah, it's fun. But that's going to be kind of our, Christmas / Bury Me American release party-ish kind of thing.
Okay,
So.
and do you plan on doing a lot of shows after the first of the year, or are you going to take a little break?
No,
from that?
I think we're gonna cool our heels for a little while.
Okay, and then maybe wait till the spring and start playing
Yeah,
again?
it's the last time we tried playing shows in the winter time. We drove 6 hours to New York City and got hit by a state trooper.
Okay.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, we did.
We were really excited to play. We were playing Pianos, which is a place we've always wanted to play. It's a great
Right.
venue, and
In
New York. We were excited. We were playing with Alex Vans. It was his CD release party. We're like, yes, this is going to be great. We left in the middle of a snowstorm, and they turned the Garden State Parkway speed limit down to like 40 miles an hour.
Right.
And then we were going over some bridge, and a state trooper just bolted up the middle and like sideswiped us. And then we got there, and the sound guy told us that we only had 20 minutes to play, so we played the most angry 20 minutes of music that we've ever played on house gear, like the house drum set, the house amps.
It was angry. But see, that's why Jimmy Buff is on to something. Just playing in the summer, we realized that day.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Don't deal with Mother Nature. I totally understand, guys. It was great seeing you. Great hanging out. And
Thanks for
talking
having
about
us, RJ and Mike.
Your new music, and it sounds great.
Thank you.
And looking forward to hearing more from you guys. And just want to remind everyone, we'll have another brand new vidcast starting next week. And of course, you can check out the fact that we stream 24/7, so you can hear nothing but Philadelphia area musicians on our site. That's what we have. No one from out of town. They're all from the Philadelphia area, and that's being featured 24/7 on yourlocalnote.com. Guys, thanks again. We're going to wrap everything up with Denim Jacket from the EP Bury Me American. The band is The Tressels, and this is yourlocalnote.com.
Peace.